honestly, this just tells me your ass is scary as fuck. And I'm gonna say scary because I feel like that's one of those country things that my family says. Your ass is just very, very cowardly. In other words, because seriously, you thought you thought that keys was a force multiplier. You know, the that shit. Yeah. That shit right there. You know, the thing that you shake in front of a puppy or a baby or something to get their attention. Yeah, that right there. Okay, so this was reported 2 days ago. Dude, you don't even really look white. You look like you're mixed, or maybe you're drunk. I don't know, but I don't understand what the fuck. Anyways, white. Oh no, this is the guy that got. Yeah, I knew it. I knew he wasn't white. He didn't look white. This is the guy that got pew-pewed. A white former Ohio police officer mistakenly pew-pewed and unalived Andre Hill as the black man was emerging from a garage nearly 4 years ago because he saw a flash of light from keys in Hill's hand and thought he was about to be pew-pewed, the officer's attorney said Thursday during opening statements of this trial. You are a fucking idiot and a liar, in my opinion. Officer Adam Coy, who served nearly 20 years with the Columbus Police Force, is charged with unaliving, reckless homicide, and felonious assault in connection with the pew-pew and could face up to life in prison if convicted. Why the hell is it just him? You know how many other people deserved? Oh, I'm just glad that they caught this shit so well they had to fire him. He was fired after December 2020 pewing and has pled not guilty. You got fired, so apparently they ain't willing to go to bat for you. Hill, 47, was not holding a force multiplier or armed, but instead held a cell phone in one hand and keys in another, investigators found. So, you trying to tell me black folks can't just get out their car? Is that what you telling me? All right. That there was no weapon does not matter, defense attorney Caitlin Stevens told jurors. Police officers are allowed to be mistaken. Are they really? So their mistake causes someone's life, but that's okay. Their oopsie causes someone not to be here no more, but that's cool. Wait till it happens to your ass and see how you feel. Coy believed Hill was pointing a revolver at him and did what he was trained to do, Stevens said. Assistant Franklin County prosecutor Renee Amlin said Hill had followed the officer's commands and was never a threat to Coy. Y'all gotta miss me with this bullshit. It's obviously... Why are you going on the beat if you that scared? Police body camera footage showed Hill emerging from the garage of a friend's house holding a cell phone in his left hand, his right hand not visible seconds before he was fatally pew-pewed by Coy. About 10 minutes passed before officers at the scene began coming to aid Hill. 10 minutes! You set your ass up there for 10 minutes! He lay bleeding on the garage floor. He was pronounced unalived at the hospital. I hope this dumbass goes to jail a long time for unaliving this black man. He's going for possibly the life. This is ridiculous. What the fuck is wrong with you? Your ass. Most people will have keys and their phone when they get out of a car. And this man is a man. He seemed like a man's man. So maybe he doesn't have a man purse. So of course the shit's going to be either in his hands or his pockets. He's in a garage. He didn't expect a fucking cop to be popping up outside a garage. Anyways, weeks after the pew-pew, the mayor forced out the police chief amid a series of high-profile fatal police pewings of black men and children. Columbus later reached a $10 million settlement with Hill's family, the largest in the history of the city. The Columbus City Council also passed Andre's Law, which requires police officers to render immediate You know, it's a damn shame when you got to put a damn rule like that out. Immediate medical attention to an injured suspect. Coy had gone to the neighborhood to investigate a resident's complaint about noise from a running vehicle when he first encountered Hill sitting in an SUV. So there's a good chance this wasn't even the dude you was looking for. The officer thought Hill, who said he was waiting to meet a friend, seemed suspicious and was trying to hide something. He's in a car, Stevens said soon after Hill walked to a house, knocked on the door before entering the garage. Coy lost sight of Hill and suspected he might be trying to break into the house. The officer's attorney said Coy and another officer who had just arrived then confronted Hill in the garage. Family and friends said Hill, a father and grandfather, was devoted to his family and was a skilled tradesman who dreamed after years of work as a chef and restaurant manager of one day owning his own restaurant. Well, not anymore because of these dumbasses. Coy had a lengthy history of complaints from residents with more than 36 filed against him since he joined the department in 2002. Can you tell me, please, how the fuck did this dude get past the first dozen that y'all kept him? According to his personnel file, a dozen of the complaints were for use of force, all but a few marked unfounded or not sustained. You know what my mom used to say? She used to say, ain't that the kettle calling the skillet black? Motherfuck. Yo ass is more of a harm than that poor man. You went straight to the negative. I'm so glad that they got their money, $10 million, and your ass might go to jail for life. Where the hell is that accomplice of yours, dumbass, that didn't listen? I know he had to think something because I'm pretty sure everybody in your fucking area knew your ass was an issue. I'm pretty sure that damn Blue Brotherhood knew your ass was an issue. They knew. And his dumb ass didn't think about, okay, it's him. Maybe I shouldn't do this. You dumb motherfuckers. But guess what? We moving on because now we about getting some good ass news. That's all I can say. I ain't got good ass news video yet, but we gonna get into some good ass news. So let's check this one out.
I didn't smoke.
Filmed by Genius Grant winner dives into the emotional journeys of Black fathers and sons. That is so good. I actually went into a program about that. Not really sure because it didn't help. It was not really fathers and sons. It was just the whole program was about, having more present fathers. So, yeah, I'm all for this. Okay, so this was reported on the 24th. Figuring out how to heal from intergenerational trauma is at the center of exhibiting forgiveness. A new autobiographical film by acclaimed artist Titus Kaphar, starring actor Andre Holland. Terrell is a successful artist modeled after Kaphar, who, despite having a loving wife, Aisha, played by Oscar nominee Andra Day, and doting son Jermaine, Daniel Michael Barrere, still suffers from childhood trauma he endured through his drug-addicted father, Laron. Terrell falls into an emotional tailspin after his mother Joyce, Oscar nominee, Ajuwane, I don't know if I'm saying that right, forgive me, Ellis Taylor, whom he adores, urges him to speak and forgive Laron. It was clear to me it was a super personal story, which is always a good sign, Holland told NBC News about his first reading the script. Kaphar, a 2018 MacArthur Genius Grant Fellow, explained that while he was visiting his home state of Michigan with his wife and two sons, he had an unanticipated encounter with his father. Pushed by his grandmother, Kaphar had found himself face to face with his father in a basement, probing him while filming his responses. I showed up, turned on the camera, and started asking him the hardest questions I could possibly ask him, thinking it would stop the conversation, and it didn't. Kaphar said the interaction sparked this weird internal struggle, he said. Part of me didn't want to be there at all, and part of me was just enthralled by the understanding the history a little bit better. So I was just going through the struggle. That moment is one of several powerful exchanges in the film. While exhibiting forgiveness, recognizes how Terrell's success as an artist is rooted in the strong work ethic his father drilled into him. It doesn't forget the emotional toll it still takes on Terrell. I promise you, I wish I could have that conversation with my dad, but he shuts the fuck down like a little kid. So I'm a little jealous of this dude. Laron, played by stage actor John Earl Jelks, grew up with Jim Crow segregation and sees a strong work ethic as the survival mechanism he's passed on to his son. But those moments of young Terrell, portrayed by Ian Foreman, working like a grown man, clearly qualify as child A to the audience. Not in my family. That's Laron's drug addiction led to Joyce, Terrell's mother, being harmed still angers Terrell. I love the awareness of the dynamics of the Black family unit. Yep, definitely. I got to clap on that one because we need it. The emotional life of the character was challenging to me because he goes through all of the range of emotions, said Holland, who learned how to paint for this role. We see him go through so much in such a short amount of time. As an actor, you both want to challenge, but also it's a little scary. It's kind of part where you can't really hide from it. You can't fake it. You know what? This kind of inspires me to, do a few comic strips based on my own experiences, my own mental, shortcomings. Filming the exchanges between the two men of two different generations, with one purporting to have changed and the other only remembering his childhood when his father was at his lowest, required Holland to bring his very best opposite Jelks, who earned a Tony nomination for August Wilson play Radio Golf in 2007. I knew without talking to him that he was going to bring his A game like he always does. But when I read the words, I said, okay, I know he's going to show up ready to go. So I had to put a little extra preparation into that to make sure I was ready to go, Holland said. So here you have look at that little baby boy and the father right there. This is the people, and that's behind the scenes. Yep. So let's see. But it was another scene toward the end of exhibiting forgiveness, directly intersecting Terrell's emotions with his work, that really unraveled Kafar, who created new paintings for the film. I just started crying, and I couldn't stop crying. I was so angry at myself, and I was like, all these people are sitting here waiting for you, he recalled. I ended up having to leave the set, lock myself in the dark room, and cry for like half an hour. Man, you should have went over this. Well, at least it was a rehearsal, I hope. You can't do that. I know it's deep, but you had to come to terms before you do that, or get someone else to play the role. But it is an interesting thought. I wouldn't mind watching it. That kind of raw emotion, Holland believes, is what makes exhibiting forgiveness more than a film. It seems to me that men tend to be especially prone to putting on a good face and ignoring what's happening on the inside. But I think this movie shows us that not addressing those wounds, those traumas, inevitably comes out in ways that you often can't predict, he said. So the movie definitely is trying to deal with that. And I think that's one thing that people who have seen it take away from it. All right, so real talk, I ain't even gonna lie. My upbringing was very non-binary, and it wasn't meant to be, but we weren't even thinking non-binary. I'm just saying that's how I was raised. I was not raised to be frilly and, feminine. I was just raised to do work. I washed my mom's car. I mowed the lawn when we had grass. I also knew how to sew and cook. All of that. I could do both. I can work on both sides. My mom taught me that I needed to know how to change a damn tire. Damn it, if you give me enough time, I'll figure out how to fix anything if I can. So, yeah, my upbringing was non-binary, as you can say. But I am who I am, and I'm not going to sit up here and complain about it. But in that same vein, I can kind of understand how a person would feel wanting to actually sit down and talk to their caregiver and have a serious heart-to-heart and explain, the pain that they possibly brought that, is still there. For example, I feel like I definitely deserved more attention. I deserve more attention even now from my father. And, I tried to have that conversation, and dude shut down on me like a little baby. I was like, what the fuck? What do I do now? Did you serious? Okay. That's all I could do. So now I know I can't have that conversation. I can get a little closer with my mother on it, but it's still touch and go because this is a different generation. But anyway,